Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will travel to Moscow later this week for a meeting with President Vladimir Putin to urge the Russian leader to thwart Iran's aspiration of establishing a military presence on the southern border region of Syria with Israel. The United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, says the Syrian government in opposition had established a clear agenda to pursue a political solution to the 6-year conflict. Iran has successfully carried out a missile test with its newly acquired S-300 aerial defense systems, which it purchased from Russia. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during his weekly cabinet meeting in Jerusalem, announced a scheduled state visit to Russia where he's expected to meet with President Vladimir Putin and discuss regional challenges. Netanyahu said the meeting will primarily focus on Iran's ongoing activities in Israel's northern neighbor Syria, where the Islamic Republic is trying to establish a military presence permanently on the border with the Jewish state.
יש ניסיון של איראן להתבסס באופן קבוע בסוריה או בנוכחות צבאית קרקעית ובנוכחות צבאית ימית וגם בניסיון הדרגתי לפתוח מולנו חזית ברמת הגולן. אני אביע בפני הנשיא פוטין את ההתנגדות החריפה והתקיפה של ישראל לאפשרות זאת.
The Israeli leader also noted that he would discuss with the Russian president the ongoing coordinated mechanism between both respective militaries in Syria to avoid unnecessary friction when the IDF conducts operations aimed at enforcing its declared red lines, including the transfer of advanced weaponry to Hezbollah in Lebanon.
אני מקווה שנוכל להגיע גם להבנות מסוימות כדי להמעיט את החיכוך האפשרי בין הכוחות שלנו ושלהם, כפי שעשינו בהצלחה עד היום.
Since 2015, Russia and Israel have established a coordinated mechanism pertaining to their actions in Syria in a declared effort to prevent misunderstandings that would create unnecessary friction between both respective militaries. Senior Israeli defense officials have labeled the coordinated mechanism as a great success, telling TV7 that Moscow's aerial superiority in Syrian skies, specifically its advanced S-400 surface-to-air systems, could have challenged Israel's Air Force in upholding its security interests in the face of Iran's determination to provide its proxy Hezbollah with high-tech weaponry in Lebanon for future confrontations against the Jewish state. Now to another matter, the United States EUCOM Commander General Curtis Caparrotti arrived in Israel this morning for an official state visit, during which he met with IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Gadi Eisenkot. During the course of their meeting, the two generals discussed a variety of regional issues, including the developments in the Syria conflict, Egypt's ongoing confrontation against the Islamic State in northern Sinai Peninsula, not far from the border with Israel, and the war against Islamic terrorism in the region at large, as well as shared challenges and cooperation. The IDF released a statement in which it defined the nature of Caparrotti's visit to Israel, saying it reinforces the strong and enduring U.S.-Israel defense relationship and continues the cooperation between the two militaries. The visit of General Caparrotti, which comes ahead of Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to Russia, also aims at further understanding Jerusalem's military cooperation with Moscow, considering the EUCOM commander's declared mandate to deter Russian aggression against U.S. foreign assets and allies. Now, with regard to the conflict in Israel's northern neighbor, Syria's first UN-led peace talks in Geneva in almost a year ended over the weekend without any breakthrough, but the United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, said the warring parties now had a clear agenda to pursue a political solution to the country's conflict, which entered its 6th year. Both Syria's government and the opposition could point to small victories. The opposition said that the question of political transition was seriously addressed for the first time, while UN envoy Staffan de Mistura said that combating terrorism, an issue pushed by President Bashar Assad's delegation, had been added to the agenda.
I feel quite comfortable that the so-called three original points of the agenda, 2254, and the fourth additional point, which is about terrorism, and framed in the way I said, big difference between what we do in Astana and here, can be something that everyone can live with. I had the feeling that the sides want to find a dialogue. That's what matters. So, as I told you at the beginning, don't be surprised, don't overestimate, don't overreact if there are statements which will say, Abadan, never. This is part of the rhetoric, it's part of posturing, it's part of politics. I know what I heard and what I saw. And that gives me some feeling that we are moving in the right direction.
The scope of the negotiations is much more limited than a year ago, when de Mistura also had to hear demands for a ceasefire and the release of prisoners. A shaky ceasefire has been in place since December of 2016, and separate talks in the Kazakh capital of Astana, sponsored by Russia, Turkey and Iran, are dealing with military matters. Even though both summits are sponsored by separate parties and have clearly different aims, de Mistura reiterated comments by Russian President Vladimir Putin, who declared the talks in Astana to complement those that are taking place in Geneva.
Astana is hostage of Geneva, if you want, and we are not hostage of Astana, but we are very much complementary. And I will almost finish, if Astana succeeds, and we want them to succeed, means ceasefire. If ceasefire takes place, we can have productive talks like we had. If we don't have productive talks, ceasefire will not last. You see how interconnected, so no one is really at the end hostage of anyone. We are really working hand in hand, but there are two hands.
A new round of talks in the Kazakh capital of Astana is scheduled to take place on the 14th of March, and Russian officials have said the UN-led talks in Geneva could resume on the 20th of March. Now to the Islamic Republic, where official state media reported that Iran had successfully carried out a missile test with its newly acquired S-300 aerial defense system, which it purchased from Russia. According to the report, the test, which was the first of its kind using the new anti-aircraft systems, was carried out in one of the country's military bases in the presence of senior military and civilian officials. The testing of the S-300 systems was carried out as part of a program titled Damavand, which is designed, among other things, to test the system's ability to deal with a wide spectrum of airborne targets and rockets as well. Intelligence experts that followed the Iranian missile test told TV7 that during the exercise, Iran simulated a scenario of an Israeli or American attack on what it defined as strategic assets, a test Tehran declared to be successful. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Jonathan Hassan, have an Erev Tov and Shavua Tov. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.